Hello, thank you for joining us. This is Movie Grade. I'm your host, J.R.Alva. I'm joined here today with
Victor Edmonds.
And Jay.Anderson.
Thank you guys for being here. All right, so this past weekend we had the opportunity to watch Heads of State. This time we went ahead and went with a streaming movie, considering that pretty much everybody else is going to see Jurassic Park. But let's move forward on that. If you guys get a chance to check out the trailer, I thought it was pretty spot on what was going to happen. My first impression of the movie, honestly, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm probably going to be one of the select few, but then again, I'm more into the action than anything else. And but this one actually kind of threw me for a loop with the comedy aspect. But I think it's well played, especially considering that John Cena's element of comedy has been getting better and better. But my first impression, that was a pretty good movie. What did you think, Victor?
Honestly, it kind of disappointed me because Elia Nashuler, the director, he's directed Nobody and also Hardcore Henry. So those are two pretty interesting action films. So for me, this was kind of a letdown. He kind of feels like he was maybe out of his depth. Maybe there's a script being like more comedy than action, or just like it wasn't R-rated. I don't know what happened. It's just kind of a letdown from a director. Seemed like he has potential.
All right.
And obviously, from the last time when we were watching the trailers, I was going in expecting a comedy action movie, somewhere along the lines of like Rush Hour or, Lethal Weapon around there. And I did find myself laughing at the movie. But that's the problem. I was laughing at the movie, not with the movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Well, I guess I'll be one of the few actually defending this movie. With that being said, honestly, like I can kind of see what you mean about laughing at the movie, but I think part of comedy has to do with the aspects of both of that, being able to laugh with the movie and at the movie, especially sometimes when you see a character and you see a certain aspects of the movie that you can't quite help but notice, like the awkwardness in the movie, and there were a couple scenes where you're just like, you could see the character awkwardly being there and you're just like, that's gross. That would suck if I were in that particular situation. So you can't help but laugh, So to me, I felt that it was pretty funny. The action, I think what I really, really enjoyed was the action wasn't dominated by Idris Elba and John Cena's character. Where typically speaking, when I've seen other films where the president is inside the whole. Let's just call it the Reign of Fire, or like the firefights and everything and stuff like that. They usually come out looking out like a badass. And this was not the case. That's one of the things I did enjoy about this. It was a bit refreshing that, Idris Elba and John Cena, both of them, they particularly were doofuses, for the better lack of a better term. And I think that was something that was enjoyable. They didn't come out as badasses. So at least when it comes to the acting part, I think they did well on that. How did you feel about that, Victor?
I think they have excellent chemistry. Idris Elba and John Cena, they have great chemistry together. They clearly like working together, and honestly, from Suicide Squad, they were great in that. And here, they're like the highlight of the film for me, where it was their moments where they bonded, they talked, and they were doing just enough to keep me interested in it, but just not enough to keep me like enjoying the film. Though I do think Idris Elba did hold up his action part because he plays a prime minister who was an ex-soldier. So I think he did his part, but the chemistry was the only thing kind of keeping it going. Action was good to okay, just didn't feel as creative as like the director's other work, where Hardcore Henry was this weird experiment of like a video game turned into a movie, and Nobody was just awesome. It was. I don't get just the script, the rating of the film. That's what feels like it let it down.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, the acting is as good as it's going to get for an action movie, honestly. Idris Elba and John Cena, I will give it to Victor and you guys. Their chemistry was great. And I did laugh a couple of times at the scene. I want to clarify clearly that when I said I was laughing at the movie, it had no reason whatsoever to do with the fact that it was a comedy. I was laughing at how bad the story was portrayed and a lot of the acting. I mean, I'm sorry, but a lot of the acting was good. I think John Cena, Idris Elba, Even Dennis Quaid did a phenomenal job, but everyone else pretty much played their action figure, stoic person, like the way every action movie is done. The villain itself was, of course, driven by revenge, and it's like, oh my goodness, I've seen Lethal Weapon 4. I know how this is going to end. So to me, I think it suffers a lot because of the other people, but Idris Elba and John Cena are the highlight. Every time they had character stuff together, it did make me laugh. But honestly, it just wasn't there. I felt like I've seen better performances out of both of them in other movies.
And it's Jack Quaid. He's the son of Dennis Quaid.
Oh yeah, sorry, Jack Quaid. Sorry.
He's really good. Honestly, he's really good in his own films, like Companion that came out this year, and Novocaine, it's a good, dumb but fun action film. It's no Shakespeare, but it's still pretty fun of a film, and that's on Paramount.
And he's
right
been
now.
doing a great job in The Boys too. So.
Yeah, Huey. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. I really do like that they're trying to give him a lot more action-based roles. Where I guess in the Boys, he's pretty much just a bumbling idiot in a sense. But he doesn't come off that way just because he does have his moments to shine and everything. But I do love the fact that he's shining as an action star now.
Yeah, haven't seen Novocaine? Watch that.
I did see that.
Oh yeah, that movie gets so weird and violent, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is going strange places.
It really is. I digress. But moving forward, like you said, you particularly when it comes to the story. When you look at the story, it's not that much different from a bunch of films. You look at White House with Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx. You have Olympus Has Fallen. You've had a lot of different ones where it's always the president, but this time they added a prime minister, so it was two of them at the same time. And usually the central focus is about making the POTUS, the action buff in the story. At least part, like a huge action buff more than anything. And in this case, I think they really dialed it down. So I want to say story-wise, I can see how inside the story, it didn't shine as much as some of those other films may have. But I did like the concept of this. I like the idea of, the Prime Minister of England or it's the UK, Prime Minister of UK,
yes,
and POTUS working side by side. So like you said, the chemistry was really good on there. The story, terrorist threat, when has that not happened in film? So really it was a lot of the same of what we've already seen before. But I want to say that the direction that they went in this was a bit different. Not by a lot, but it was a bit different. I think, honestly, I enjoyed the story. I thought it was funny, and that was my main thing is, did it make me laugh? Yes, it did. Action-wise, I enjoyed the fact that it was, Dennis Quaid's son, the character was Marty Comer in the movie, and then Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
yes.
The fact that those were your action stars of the film, and that was something that was like, wait, what? These are the action stars? So I really enjoyed that. How did you feel about the story?
Honestly, I felt very Call of Duty. If you ever play a Call of Duty game, it kind of feels very like, oh, here you enter level, here's a cover, here's you aim and shoot, you move along, you get another cover, oh, here's another bad guy you kill, pick up his weapon, and then you keep going, it felt very Call of Duty level if you ever played Call of Duty. It you try to turn like a Call of Duty game into a film. Like not one of the great Call of Duty games, like the not good ones. The mediocre ones.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Very video game like. It's like we get through one level and then we get to the next level to get to the next scene. Me personally, there was one part of the story that I just absolutely despised. Without giving too much away. I'm sorry about that. Without giving too much away, it is very obvious who the villain is, and whenever you give that information to the audience, but the main character doesn't know about that information, that is a writing technique called dramatic irony. The audience is aware of the information the main character doesn't. If you're going to use that approach, you cannot have a red herring A red herring is for the audience who's following along with the mystery. You want to mislead the audience. You can't mislead the audience if you already told them who the bad guy is. So, and if you want to do it for the good guys, well, it just doesn't work because you already used the dramatic irony technique. It's just nitpicking, but for me, it took me completely out of the story. And also, I'm a biased bitch, but in no political climate nowadays has the United States wanted to be a part of NATO. No offense to what's going on right now, but we all know what's happening, and it doesn't look like the president wants to join NATO at the moment.
Well, that president was an action hero, and there's a difference in reality too.
Yeah, I guess
fiction.
you're right. I guess you're right. If you're going to work in film, you have to have brains to memorize a script. If you work in reality television, you kind of just wing it, right?
Plus, Water Cobra is a classic.
Water Cobra. Now that's a movie I want to see.
I want to see
The Venom and Denim.
Yes.
The Venom and Denim.
Water Cobra 3 that's pure cinema.
All right, guys. I mean, obviously, this is an action movie. So as action movies go, guns go blazing, things explode, and
Cars get chased.
Cars get chased. So you're not going to be let down when it comes to that. If you're looking at action, you're going to get your taste, your mouthful, or whatever you want to call it. I think it's going to give you everything you want, special effects wise, action wise. Is there anything that stood out to you, special effects or otherwise?
I'd say the limo chase. They show in the trailer, so it's not really spoiler. It's a limo chase. It's really well done. It's kind of my favorite limo chase of the year, where it's like, oh, this is interesting. It's a good way to do a limo chase, especially.
I guess one of my favorite memorable moments, without giving anything away, is the answer to the question, how did you get here?
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Those sequences were so good. It was like, how did you get here?
It's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So moving along into this, we usually talk about memorable moments, and obviously this has been out for a while, so there might be some mild spoilers in here, but honestly, I found plenty of memorable moments in here, but to me, honestly, I have to give it up to Jack Quaid. What is it? Or Dennis Quaid, Marty Comer, the character. The fact his action sequence to me was the one that stood out the most because it was so out of left field that it just kind of like, wait, what just happened here? And I'm like, great, this guy's the one, and he's kicking ass and he's taking names, and it's amazing. To me, that was my memorable moment. Oddly enough, any memorable moments stood out to you?
Like the limo chase.
Limo chase?
Yeah, because it was fun, it was dumb, and there are like some cool ideas that could have been better, but it's like you get what you kind of get, and you kind of just gotta. It kept me interested still till the end.
Just like my adolescence, I try to forget most of it, but I would have to say that one memorable moment to me was just, believe it or not, fish and chips. I kind of want to try chips with vinegar. Don't ask me why, but that was it. That was the memorable moment, fish and chips.
Chips being French fries. We're here in America, sir.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I assumed all of you were classy, but in case you don't know, chips are fries.
You're really milking that, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Just explaining for the average American audience.
Alrighty. All right, so you guys heard most of what we usually... you can see most of our sequences that we talk about when it comes to the movies and everything. And honestly, I'm getting ready to grade this. I already have my grade locked in, and I'm probably going to be the odd man out of this. But what did you grade this, Victor?
C-. I'm like, I know this director can seemingly do better. It's just I don't know what happened with the script. The story just feels like very watered down version of this kind of the director who seemed like has promise. He's got potential. Like Hardcore Henry is a weird experimental kind of action film, and I know I enjoyed it, but then again, that's just me, and I love Nobody, and I'm like, okay, so what happened here? That's what I was asking. It's maybe too much on his plate. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I think I'm actually going to agree with Victor here and give it a C- as well. C- is not always an indication of a bad movie, but it is watchable. But just because something's watchable doesn't mean I would want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, my grade, guys. I had it locked in, and I'm gonna stick with it. Like I said, I'm the odd man out, but I'm giving this a B minus, mainly because yeah, it could be a lot better. I can see your guys' point on everything, but to me, it entertained me, and I did rewatch it. So I'll give it that reason, and I did enjoy it. The action sequences, comedy wise, and I can see how it could do better, you know. But and I kind of have a feeling that regardless of my grade, it's going to devalue it with your guys' point of view. But you know, on my point of view, action wise, it delivered. Comedy wise, it made me laugh. At the end of the day, this was an action comedy, and you did what you were supposed to do. You made me laugh, and you had me on the edge of my seat on a couple of scenes. So to me, B minus. But I guess if we go ahead and give this thing an average grade, I'm gonna default to you guys. I think we'll just go ahead and give this a C.
There we go. A C.
A C. So all around grade, this movie came out as a C. I think it's a pretty good grade. How did you guys feel about that?
I mean, a C can mean many things. It can mean complete. It can mean crap. It can mean anything.
Well, at least it's not a D for down.
Yeah, it wouldn't be competent.
All right, so there you guys have our grades, guys. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. I'm your host, J.R.Alva, here from Movie Grade. I'm joined here today with
Victor Edmonds, hit writer at United Oddity Comics.
And Jay Anderson, GM at PWL.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for joining us. And please make sure to like, share, subscribe. And I do have new content, guys, out. I hope you guys don't mind I plug this in. I do got some music starting to come out. I got 2 songs out. It's a completely different profile. G.O. Raw. The O is a 0. So hope you guys can enjoy that. Once again, thank you guys for joining us.